Well, here in Germany, the government's now halfway into its 4-year term, and a new poll says almost 3/4 of Germans are dissatisfied with the work of the coalition. When they were asked, is the German government doing a good job? 72% of those polled said no. Only 23% said they were satisfied with the government coalition, consisting of the Social Democrats, the Greens, and the business-friendly FDP party. Now, 2 out of 3 respondents, that's 66%, said they were not satisfied with the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Only 26% said he's doing a good job. And yet, only 1 in 3, or 35% of Germans, said they believe the coalition may fall apart before the regular end of its term in office. Some 45% of Germans said the government will stay in office as planned until the next elections in the year 2025.
Good news for the German government. After weeks of infighting, the Free Democrat finance minister and the Green family minister have come to an agreement. He's giving her more money to tackle child poverty. And she won't stand in the way of tax breaks worth billions for businesses.
The back and forth was certainly worth it.
It's not the first time the three-way coalition of Social Democrats, Free Democrats and Greens has had to settle a row. Last year, they fought over the phase-out of nuclear energy after Russia cut gas supplies to Europe. A few months later, they argued over when to ban oil and gas heatings.
In such a coalition, the parties have to show themselves and to their voters that they still have a profile and that they have certain positions and that they fight for these positions.
Now they are fighting over how to help the economy. Each time one issue is solved, the next row erupts. Approval ratings for the government are at an all-time low. The coalition has promised to end the fight at a 2-day cabinet retreat behind closed doors, with many calling for more leadership from the Chancellor. Here's where he will have to prove it.
And let's bring in DW's chief political editor, Michaela Kufner, reporting from that cabinet retreat. I'll come to that in just a moment. But first, Michaela, what do you think this low public satisfaction with the current three-way coalition means for the direction of German politics?
Well, it certainly means that every decision in either direction always means inner wrangling, and that decreases the reliability of the German government to a certain degree when industry, but also all sorts of factions in society always expect a huge fight before seeing some kind of outcome on direction. Imagine this a bit like a family gathering. They know they have to stay together because their polling of the individual 3 parties shows that if this coalition was to break up, the chances would be significantly decreased that any of these would find themselves back in government. So they know they have to stick together. And at the same time, with so many regional elections coming up, they need to show profile. And that means constant tension. And that's something certainly the voters don't like to see.
Now, tell us more about this cabinet meeting where you're reporting how it's going so far and what we've heard from Chancellor Scholz.
Well, we heard from Chancellor Scholz 4 minutes of basically saying that they will work things out behind closed doors and setting a target, which he says is unleashing the strong German economy. We're seeing signs of stagnation there, institutes coming out with even negative forecasts. And he wants to counter this with new legal initiatives, one of which, of course, those billions worth of tax breaks was stopped in its tracks by Paus from the Green Party, who wanted to see her legal package to safeguard children, to decrease child poverty go through. Well, that was resolved ahead of this meeting, and really all sides are under pressure to demonstrate unity and to have a concrete outcome, and that could be an outcome over the discussion looking into potential reductions in price on energy for big industry. The Chancellor is against it. The Greens and most of his own party is in favor. So behind those closed doors at Meseberg Castle, there's a lot of debate, dare I say, inner fighting going on once again, for sure.
Well, thank you very much for your reporting. That's Michaela Kufner for us.